Well, trick or treat. Hey, this is Jonathon Rushers, Kelly Nash.
Hi there.
Tomorrow's show today. Tomorrow's going to be Halloween, obviously, or excuse me, the Friday after. So we're going to talk about who came knocking at your door.
This is an annual tradition on the Morning Rush that I was introduced to back in '05 when Jonathan introduced me to the verb. Well, it's not a verb. It's more of an adjective.
Sure.
The prostitutes. Jonathan claims that we take our little children and we dress them up in the sexiest and skimpiest of little outfits, and then send them door to door and ask for candy.
Not all of them, but you see who gets the most candy.
The world.
All I'm saying is that we have girls out there wearing these skimpy little costumes. Now tonight's going to be interesting because you may get blown through the neighborhood, tumbling like a tumbleweed. You might get blown through the neighborhood because we got like hurricanes and we got torrential downpours coming our way. So it may be very quiet tomorrow on the neighborhood review. So, but we'll try it anyway. Just if you get a real interesting one, take a picture of them, send it to us.
Other subjects. Well, we already know that we're going to have Stephen Garcia.
Go Cox!
He'll talk to us about Gamecock football and the current state of it after that Tennessee loss. We'll also talk to the host of Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan. That'll be at about 8:10ish.
Something like that.
So that's the 8 o'clock hour. 6 o'clock hour, we obviously got to do our Rant or Rave Friday.
That's
Your
right.
opportunity to let people know stuff that you're happy about. It's like Facebook, except we have 100,000 listeners. So
That's right.
you can normally put it out to your, like, whatever, 1,000 or 500 friends or whatever. This is your opportunity to give to 100,000 people. So hopefully you'll join us for that at about 6:15. But other stories that we could talk about, Jonathan, and this might affect Tumbleweed. I don't know if you've heard the news. That Meg Ryan has called off her engagement to John Mellencamp.
What?
That's it. He loves John Mellencamp. He's still waiting on the John Mellencamp Christmas card to come back. And yes, they've called it off. Now, they have also broken up in 2014, 2015, and 2017. So
Well, it's every 2 years.
every 2 years. So possibly we should be back on track next
they got
year.
No fighting. It's just they'll be back together again, and then they'll plan their wedding for 2021, and then she'll break it off again.
The question I have is, how many times have you gotten back with somebody?
Oh, that's
Like
good.
the most you've kind of like I was with him in 2012, and then I was out with him in 2013, I was back with him in 2015, or whatever. It just seems to me, I guess you could break up once. That's the way I look at it. If you broke up once and then you got back together again, that's cool. But if you broke up a second time, you should never
Sally and
go
I
back.
did that. We broke up one time, and
Yeah.
then we got married.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting. You look back in your relationships. I think most every relationship you broke up once. Well, a lot of them, because you thought, nah, I made a mistake. Then you get back with them and you go, nah, I didn't make a mistake. And you broke up with them again. But if you went back after that, I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know what you're drinking over there. I don't know, but maybe that was the case. Maybe it's 3 or 4 times. Maybe the third time's the charm. We can find out the old adage fits your relationship.
And as we get ready for Halloween this evening, Jonathan, I was just reading this article, and it's interesting that the differences between the Halloween trick-or-treating that you and I and Tumbleweed and other people who grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s experienced, and maybe even most of the 90s, has changed significantly. And I hadn't even really considered it until I saw this article. For one, school Halloween parades have pretty much been uniformly banned across the country now. Can no longer have Halloween parades in most school districts. Halloween now has hours for trick-or-treating. Most neighborhood associations will tell you you are accepted from 6 p. to 8 p. for trick-or-treating. You come after that, we're sending over the security guard to arrest you. Another one is this may be one of the final few years that kids actually go door to door in these neighborhoods, because parents for years have been shying away from it and going to church events and trunk or treats. And
I drove past a couple of church events last night. It was Wednesday night, so all the Baptist churches were already doing their thing, right? But the parking lots were filled last night because I'm sure they took the opportunity to do their fall festival or All Saints celebration or whatever it was. But yeah, a lot of parents are getting away from going door to door.
speaking of churches, our pastor has mocked people in our church who give away the fun size or bite size. He says you got to go full size. Well, according to this, up until the early 2000s, over 90% of the candy sold leading up to Halloween was fun size kid size, basically one bite. That was all you got when you
Okay.
were a kid. When we were kids, you got one bite of the Snickers. One
They were
little,
really small.
very tiny. But now, we've now moved it to it's about 50-50 now.
Huh.
We're giving away full candy bars to these kids, which is completely different than what we had back in the day.
I like it better with the fun size, to tell you the truth. I even now buy bags of fun size candies.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd rather have 1 or 2 bites of a Butterfinger, and then I've got, more of them still wrapped up. I'm not going to sit down and eat a whole Butterfinger, and then tomorrow eat a whole Butterfinger. I'll eat a fun size today, I might eat one, after dinner, and then eat another one tomorrow. But I'm surprised at that, really. But, when we were kids, also, we had the special treats if you went to family members or real close friends.
Oh.
Yeah, because then you get, like, caramel apples or stuff like that. You got the extra treat. You didn't get the regular, I don't even know who this kid is, treat.
Well, Halloween is certainly changing from when we were younger. So I don't know. Maybe enjoy the last few years of trick or treating. I guess.
There was one guy that lived too far for us because I grew up in the country. So when you trick or treating, mom or dad had to drive you because you're going like 3-4 miles between people's houses.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
But one guy had a cotton candy machine. So he'd, crank it up. You come by and you get a cotton candy.
Wow.
A whole thing of
Very
cotton
fancy.
candy right there. You had to eat it then because it wasn't wrapped.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
How about houses that you just assumed were crazy and creepy? Did you ever go up to them? Kind of like in the Sandlot. There was that house
Right.
that they always assumed if you went over there, the dog was going to eat you and stuff.
Right.
I remember there was a house in our neighborhood kind of like that. It's like a street over, and no kids dared to knock on it. And then one of our friends, who's now passed away, not because of this, he knocked on the door. And we were all standing on the sidewalk, like, "What are you doing? You don't go up to that house.
Don't go up there."
Oh my gosh!" And he knocked on the door, and it was an old lady, and she was thrilled. She was like, "I've been wondering," and I was like, "She's gonna eat you! Don't go in the house." But she was just wondering why no kids ever came up to her house. It's because it was creepy looking.
There was a couple of houses that we didn't want to go to, and a couple of houses I did not go to. One of them in particular, because we'd always heard that the guy had a mule that died, and he buried it in his backyard. But when rigor mortis set in, the mule's legs came up out of the ground, and he was too lazy to cut them off.
Oh my!
So I don't know if that's true or not. And
Probably not.
I think he put bird feeders on them. That's what we told anyway. He just nailed a bird feeder.
Great rumors that people
That's
start
a great rumor. That's
about
a good one, right?
your neighbors.
I'd at least taken a hacksaw or chainsaw and cut the legs off. That would have been nice.
Mhm.
No respect for the mule around there. All right, I don't know. We'll talk about that tomorrow, maybe. What happened in your neighborhood? You think I'm lying? I'm not. Then,
Jonathan shows great respect for the mule by cutting its legs off.
right? You wouldn't feel it. Then, oh yeah, we got to do the rant and rave. Get your celebrations out on the biggest stick of the biggest mountain in South Carolina called 97.5 WCOS. We're doing all that tomorrow. Thank God it's Friday. Travel safely, Halloweenies.